in appreciation for all that you're doing for us, and especially for believing in us, helping us to hold on, to move forward, and to reach our destiny. With love, the Mandela crew, Lower Roxbury, Massachusetts. Also on the field,
allying himself with Dr. Brown and the rowing team of the young African American youth, and he did not contribute in his past years any commitments or any programs or allocate any funds to Roxbury's youth. So this is basically being an opportunist developer who's overnight saying, this is my team, this is Dr. Brown, who I'm honored. The fact is what she has done, and we are taking the credit, me and Governor Salucci and Mayor Menino and the rest of the city and state official. In the meantime, for the last 10 years, they have allowed Roxbury to deteriorate. When the youth were dying in Roxbury, I was the first owner to file a class action suit against the Boston Police Department and Mayor Flynn to stop the innocent black youth from dying, against the Boston Police Department on a weekly basis. That lawsuit cost me $150,000. We were able to get concession out of this lawsuit where we will have two mounted horses at the Ramsey Park in the summer and two walking patrolmen around Mandela and the neighborhood. We had several buses go to the courthouse, and we have had many demonstrations on the City Hall in order to save a life. Where was Mr. Cohen? Where were the Jewish developers at that time?
It's a new approach to police training and technology, along with closer cooperation with the people they're trying to protect. But not everyone is happy with the plan, specifically that it does not include expanding the police force.
So what good is a computer if you have all that information and you haven't got the police behind it to back it up? It's a waste of technology.
This plan speaks quite clearly to making maximum use of what we know we have. It has no expectation that there are any additional funds or cops. And that's what's good about the plan. It's based on the reality.
Most recently with the Citizens Patrol. Leaders say the patrol has been a help, but they say there's still a need for more police. And on that note, the grassroots campaign yesterday went straight to City Hall. With our report is Rebecca Seidenberg.
Members of the Roxbury Citizen Patrol, joined by residents from 3 private housing developments, arrived at City Hall, hoping to speak with Mayor Flynn.
The neighborhood will never be safe as long as the mayor continues to play game with this community. He knows that there's a need for more police officers there, but instead, most of those police officers are downtown Boston protecting the merchant.
Police Commissioner, residents of 2 housing developments in Roxbury are bringing the suit as a way to get more police protection outside their buildings. Regardless what happens in the courtroom, residents hope their dramatic step makes a difference on the street. With our story is Yasmin McCarthy.
Angry that they are under siege in their own homes, residents of the Mandela and Grant Manor housing developments have filed suit against Mayor Ray Flynn and Police Commissioner Mickey Roach, demanding adequate protection from the gangs, drugs, and violence that make coming home a life-threatening experience.
And I'm actually afraid for him to go play basketball in the court because of the gangs. Last year, 2 boys got killed right across the street from us.
I'd like to see more police in the area for my children to be more safer to walk the street. My son
It is unprecedented, and the chances of winning the case are based on an unusual statute.
I have not found any precedents in Massachusetts where the police have been ordered by an appellate court into an area to clean it up or to stop any particular activity. There's a statute that provides that if there are 5 or more people who go armed with clubs, which occurs here, and a public official is informed of that and doesn't take steps to stop it, that there's a criminal violation.
But area... Reporting for the Neighborhood Network News, I'm Yes.
With 11-year-old Tiffany Moore when she was struck down from the bullets of a drug war. An innocent child left dead, with a mother left grieving.
They took my child alive. If I had money, you take the money, I could explain, you know. But you took my child, he took my child alive.
I'm not only feeling trapped.
This was today, the Mass Housing Investment Corporation, Mass Housing Partnership, the city, everybody really came together. We had a terrific cooperation from Fleet Bank and PNC. We asked them to do some pretty gutsy, maybe even some stupid things, and we didn't give them much time to think about it either. Everybody really pulled together to make this happen. Good business people don't usually thank people who've lost money in their deals. At least they don't thank them publicly. But in an unusual twist, we want to thank some people who lost a lot of money in Mandela. And that's the creditors of the former owner. Millions were lost by Winter Hill Bank, the City of Boston, the Boston Water and Sewer Authority. But at the end, they all came together and recognized that it was more important to stop fighting and to trust in the community and to turn the buildings over to us so that we could get on with the work of the community.
The creditors who lost the most money, and he's thanking the Winter Hill Federal Savings Bank. Mr. Howard Cohen, the Winter Hill Federal Savings Bank did not have to lose $1.3 million on this transaction. In fact, the Winter Hill Bank, they had an option to support my dismissal and for me to take Mandela back and pay him 100% on the dollar. In fact, Winter Hill Bank, they had an option to support Mourad Owens, which had $2 million to pay the Winter Hill Bank more than you had to pay him of $1.3 million, and still pay the remaining of the money. And the fact Winter Hill Bank chosen to lose the money because of the personal backroom deal that has taken place between you, Mr. Howard Cohen, and the Winter Hill Bank. Winter Hill Bank is known for a corrupt policy. That's why the President Roy Gain was indicted in 1990, I believe in 94 or 93, and he was fined $25,000 for him being involved in a personal transaction and given a loan to his associate, which he was a partner to. So the fact if Winter Hill Bank did not cut a deal with you and the governmental entities, why they made a private bid prior to you to buy Mandela outright? Because they knew Mandela was worth millions of dollars, and they knew they would make profit more than the $2.8 million. That's why they bid on that development. And their first intention was to own it with a private developer and make a killing. So don't sympathize here with a corrupt bank to saying they have taken a loss because of us. They did not take a loss. What they did is a favor to you, to Governor Sallucci, and to Mayor Menino. And then they went after Al Mourad to foreclose on his personal home and hold him responsible of the $3 million mortgage, which I was capable of paying 100% on the dollar, and to say, Mourad, we're going to convert you from Chapter 13 to save my home into Chapter 7 because you owe us $1.7 million on Mandela. This is shocking. If this is gone on a national level to investigate this bank, Sandra McGoldrick, she should be fired immediately. This is corruption. That bank has an obligation to the stockholder to get the most dollar for the bank. In this case, they played the politics, and they get the least dollar to the bank at the expense of Al Mourad, who guaranteed the loan personally, and now the bank is going after Al Mourad for the difference. So they could have an announcement sound by you, Mr. Howard Cohen, and the governor and all of you to say how wonderful the Winter Hill Bank took a loss. That's sad. That's corruption. I will not be proud of that statement. It's time, Mr. Howard Cohen, to stop